Hey, I'm Nick, and today we're taking a look at the Wolfang GA100 and GA200 action cameras. So first, let's go ahead and take a look at the internal and external microphones. So this is what the internal microphone sounds like on the GA100 action camera. It does come with a external mic, so I'll plug that in a little bit later and we'll see what that sounds like. And this is what the internal microphone sounds like on the GA200. The GA200 does support an external microphone, but it doesn't come with it. But I did find out that if you have if you have the Campark external mic or the Acaso V50X external mic, it will work with this camera. So we'll plug one of those in next and we'll see how it sounds. Alright, so I have both of those external microphones plugged in. This is the GA100 external microphone, and this is the Campark microphone that I have plugged into the Wolfang GA200. So which microphone do you think sounds better? The external mic for the GA100 or the external microphone with the GA200? Alright, so next let's check out some of the image stabilization tests. So the image stabilization on both of these cameras isn't that great, especially on the cheaper GA100 action camera. It's just way too shaky. Whether it's on or off, it just looks horrible. The GA200 does perform a little bit better, but still not that great. All right, so let's see what the resolutions look like. Alright, so as you can see, the resolutions aren't that great, especially when you get anything that's over 30 frames a second. The 60 frames a second and 120 frames a second on these cameras just look horrible on both of them. Alright, so let's see how these perform indoors. This coffee machine is pretty cool. You can actually choose how bitter you want the coffee. If you want it hot or only a little hot, and it comes out of this little door. So it looks like the GA100 actually performs a little bit better indoors than the GA200. It actually has a slightly sharper image and a little bit more true to color than the GA200. Alright, so now let's see how the Slowmo and Timelapse does. So Slowmo and Timelapse don't look that great. And then again, that's because you're using a higher frame rate. It's using either 60 frames per second or 120 frames a second for the slow-mo, so it just doesn't look good. Alright, so now let's see how these look out at night. So like most action cameras, these have a really small sensor and don't perform that well at night or any low light situation. So I definitely suggest getting some type of light source if you plan on using these at night or any low light setting. So for example, the Vigim CL3 by Ulanzi. Huge thanks to Ulanzi for sending this little light out. This is what it looks like on low, medium, high, super high, and SOS mode. It's probably best on low or medium, depending how close you get to your face. But alright, so that's how these would perform at night. Not that great without a light. Alright, so let's take a look at the pros and the cons. The pros, the GA100 has a good internal and external microphone. The GA200 has dual screens. They're both low priced, budget friendly. And the native 4K on the GA200 isn't too bad during the day. For the cons, the image stabilization on both these do not perform that great. The GA200 is slightly oversaturated in my opinion. And there is a resolutions issue when you use anything over 30 frames a second. It just gets blurry and pixelated when you use 60 frames a second and 120 frames a second. There is no 1/4 inch thread on the bottom, so that means you will have to use the cage that comes with it if you want to attach a tripod or a handle. And the GA100 does not have a touchscreen. So in conclusion, I would definitely not recommend the Wolfang GA100. I just think there's better options out there at this price range. But for the GA200, I do believe this is the cheapest 4K dual screen action camera that you can currently find on Amazon right now. So this might be the camera for you, especially if you're not looking to spend hundreds of dollars on a GoPro or a DJI. So hopefully you guys found this review somewhat helpful. If you did, I'd appreciate if you could hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you later. See ya.